You are listening to the Pleasant Spirit Podcast with your host, licensed massage therapist, Kyle Pleasant. Here, we will be discussing topics on health and wellness, as well as self-improvement, and his experiences as a legally blind massage therapist. And now, here's your host, Kyle.
Hello and welcome to the Pleasant Spirit Podcast. I am your host, massage therapist Kyle Pleasant. I hope everyone out there is having a good winter. I know that winter can be a challenge for some of those. It's not always everyone's favorite. It's a little bit colder and gloomier, and if you live in an area that doesn't get a lot of sun, be sure you get your vitamin D somehow. Go outside whenever you can, and if not, get some vitamin D supplements or some kind of sun lamp to kind of help offset that seasonal affective disorder. So today's episode is kind of inspired by one of my clients, like some other episodes that I do. This particular client comes in and they, you can kind of tell when they walk up the driveway based on their body language, that they were probably not having the best day. They might be in pain or, something upset them in some way, because you can tell by the body language whenever they come up the drive, their heads down, and they're kind of, wobbly on their feet. And then whenever they get to the treatment room, they're, a little bit curt tone to their voice, or they it's a little bit gloomy sounding or whatever. And so, a lot of us can relate to that state of mind, because, everyone has, one of those days. Anyway, the client will get their massage, and then you can see kind of a change in the body language after they get their massage, because their tone's a lot happier, they feel a little bit better, and then, they, lighter on their feet as they go back down the sidewalk to their car. And so that kind of just makes it where you can kind of tell a change in a person's attitude, based on their condition. A lot of times when you're in pain or you don't have the best day, if you don't feel well, then the thing is, if you don't feel well, then you don't always act well. You don't show up, the way that you feel like you should. You don't, you're not at your best, so you don't behave at your best as it follows. Oftentimes we've been in the checkout line where somebody's frustrated in front or behind us, or that the checkout person has a curt, firm tone to them where they're, you feel like they just didn't have the best day, or they aren't happy with their job or something like that. And I've said on many episodes that, there's no private good any more than there's any private aggravation. And the things that we go to, in the mornings, even myself, I'm not the best morning person. I get up a little bit grouchy, or, until I get a little food in my system and do some stretches and get some kind of caffeine going, I feel a little better, ready to take on the day. And so all these things, everybody can relate to. It's not unique to anyone, that there are just days when you don't want to see people, and you don't want to deal with the day, and you don't want to, if one more person cuts you off in traffic, or if one more person says something unkind, you're just going to lose your mind or something. And, I'm here to remind you that, it's everyone, no one's perfect. And no one is a Superman. There's not one person that is just, all smiles every single day, every day of their life. It just doesn't happen. That's just not realistic. And I just wanted to say that, that's okay. It is okay not to be okay. I mean, we're all going to have those days where we're just not going to be the most kindness. it would be nice that if we went down the street, when somebody smiled at you, you'd smile back, and then that smile would carry on to someone else that does a nice deed for that person, and that person would do another nice thing for the next person. It's a chain, and it happens just the opposite, where if, somebody cuts you off in traffic, then you say something to your kids, and your kids say something to the dog, and then, or whatever. It works both directions, although that high energy, that smile can certainly go a lot further than, a grouchy, somebody saying something unkind. But, we definitely want to keep that in mind. But it's just a reminder that, it's okay not to be okay, because we're human. And part of being human is that we're going to have aches and pains. We're going to have stresses that come into our life. Somebody out there has lost their power, and they want to try and, take away yours because they feel powerless. I've said that in another episode, that sometimes people come into our field because they feel powerless, and that they challenge us because they feel like, nothing's working for them, so therefore they have to feel like they want to contaminate someone else. So there's a TikTok out there that it's called Bones or No Bones. It's a meme there that there's a pug named Noodles that the owner lifts him up every day, kind of like a daily Groundhog Day kind of thing. And whenever he lifts the dog up and the dog stands on his feet and he's all, his head's held high, he's ready to take on the day, then that would be a Bones Day. But there are other times, he's an older dog. Whenever, John, the owner, lifts him up off into his bed, he just kind of flops right back down onto his bed and says, no, I'm not dealing with this today. And that's, of course, a signal that says it's okay to stay in. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's always okay to take care of yourself. But, this particular day, it just may not be the day you want to, tackle any big projects or, do any chores or get out of bed or, deal with certain relatives or, whatever. And so that would be a no bones day. And so everyone's going to have a bones day and everyone's going to have a no bones day. And I'm just here to remind you that it's okay to not have a bones day. It's okay to sleep in. It's okay to just take care of you, because you're the most important person to you is you. So you want to take care of yourself. And, of course, when you're out there in public and you're having a no-bones day, it's important to, be responsible for the energy that you do give off. Try not to, piss somebody else off, or whatever. You may not feel like smiling, but, try not to, pee in somebody else's, Cheerios or whatever whenever you're out in public. But also remember that if somebody's out there and maybe they're just feeling a little unkind today, or they don't smile, or they say something curt, or they cut you off in traffic or whatever it is, they may be having a no-bones day. We don't know what everybody's story is. We don't know what kind of day they had. They don't know, if before they came in contact with you, they just got fired, or that their kids yelled at them, or, they dropped, their coffee cup in the living room, or whatever. You don't know. So just be mindful of something like that. And of course, feel the emotion. If you wake up and you're not feeling your best, that may be a signal that you want to stop and feel the feeling and figure out if there's something more to just you feeling bad, and then deal with it. Meditate or write it down, or just take some time for you that day and see what's going on. Because even though it's okay to feel not okay, we certainly don't want to live in that state of mind all the time. So be kind to yourself. And it's okay for you to not be okay, but it's also okay for others to not be okay as well. And so just keep that in mind. And I hope that something I said inspired you. And if it does, I would love for you to share this episode with someone. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at podcast@pleasantspirit.com. And with that, be well and have a pleasant day.
Thank you for listening to the Pleasant Spirit Podcast. We hope you found today's show informative. Please take a moment to write a review. And if you want to reach out or have show ideas, you can email at podcast@pleasantspirit.com. You can also visit his website at pleasantspirit.com. If you are in the Portland, Oregon area, you can schedule a massage or one of his coaching services at pleasanttouchmassage.com. See you next time, and always be well.